So good evening class, narinig ako. Good evening everyone. Can you hear my voice? Okay, so yan. Okay, good evening, good evening. Okay, so everyone, I know probably some of you might be on the way pa kung galing man kayo sa school. So kindly verify nga if during every Friday may klase kayo na face to face para at least alam ko, ma-anticipate ko na na baka may nakabiyahis. Okay. So at least okay. So at least alam ko na nasa bahay kayo. Yung isang section kasi is traveling pa from school and may klase. So, yun, alam ko na that you are already in your home, you are safe to conduct a lecture. Okay, so doon lang sa natin for the sake of attendance. So kindly kindly send your name dito sa group chat, then your leader, your president. Okay, so yung president nyo sa class, your coordinator. So kindly take the those person who will indicate that they are present. So sino nga ba last time, si Hana yata kung naalala ko ng tama. Or I'll na lang, so yun. So yung coordinator ng group nyo or yung section nyo, kindly check yung mga magse-send ng kanilang name dito sa group chat and their presence within the platform so that their participation could be acknowledged. Okay, yan. So afterwards na lang yung pagkatapos ng natin ng lecture. Okay, so also reminder for your for your assignment, deadline yun for if I'm not mistaken today. So today din yung assignment nyo. Saka yung pinasagutan kong form, make sure nag-fill up kayo kasi that is one attendance, yung equivalent nun, yung sinend ko sa group chat. And another reminder, make sure that you're already within the Orange app kasi doon ako nagpo-post ng mga dapat nating i-comply. Okay, so yun. Okay, so yun na lang habang nag-start tayo, kindly send your names in the group chat, in the chat box. Yan yung full yung surname nyo, tapos yan yung whole name, yun like yung ginawa ni Mr. Painaga. Yan para maano talaga, ma-record na nandito kayo sa chat box natin. Okay, so tapos your group, or rather your president in the section, kindly take note of these persons para as a proof na nagpa-participate sa class. Okay, so yan, my lecture is I'll be playing a lecture na about dun sa topic natin. So yung discussion ko, I'll be playing here. So makinig na lang kayo at afterwards ng nung lecture, you can clarify some questions. Okay, so kung meron kayong naguguluhan dito sa lecture ko that I'll be presenting here, so at the end, you can raise your questions para ma-clarify at matulungan ko kayong maintindihan kung ano man yung medyo magulo. Okay, so yan, I'll be starting to present na the So by the way, may lecture is oftentimes are recorded para hindi magkaiba yung sinasabi ko sa kabilang section. Minsan kasi may nasasabi ko sa kabila na nakakalimutan kong sabihin sa inyo. Same goes, may nasasabi ko sa inyo na hindi ko nasasabi sa kabila. So to avoid that, I make a standard lecture. So and you can pwede nyo rin siyang balikan dito kung di ako nagkakamali para pag for review in some of our assessments like exam and quizzes. Okay, so I'll be starting to present para makaano na tayo. Okay, so kindly send a message sa natin, nasa chat box natin kung wala kayong naririnig. So nandito lang ako sa platform. So I'll be checking from time to time yung mga kung may message kayo or question. But question as much as possible at the end nung lecture, dun ko siya i-entertain. Okay, so start na tayo. Okay, so just tell me kung walang naririnig para ma-check ko yung configuration ko. Good day, class. So for today's discussion, we are going to have the radiographic quality. So of course, here in the radiographic quality, we are going to emphasize the factors affecting the final appearance of the images that we are producing. So here, as mentioned in the introductory slide, this is more about the visibility and sharpness. So let's dig deeper about this concept. Okay, so as mentioned here, a primary responsibility of the radiographer is to evaluate radiographic images to determine whether sufficient information exists for diagnosis. Again, emphasizing on the term diagnosis. So when we say diagnosis, this is the approach of determining the disease or knowing the condition of the patient. Okay, so as the one who is actually performing the procedure, so tayo yung mismong gumagawa ng examination, it is our main responsibility to make sure that the images that we produce are of high quality. Okay, so dapat maganda yung kalidad niya na makakatulong for accurate and reliable diagnosis na hindi mapapahamak yung patient natin dahil doon sa kapabayaan natin sa ginagawa nating examination. So na oftentimes ang nagiging result pagka meron tayong maling na commit throughout the conduct of the procedure or meron tayong hindi na uphold na principles of imaging is nami-misdiagnose si patient na mali or hindi na natutuklasan kung ano ba yung root cause nung condition niya na na-experience or yung sakit na meron siya na nagpapa-worsen lalo nung management ng kanyang condition. Okay, so kaya responsibilidad natin 'yon. At yung mga matututunan nyo dito ay magagamit nyo to know whether tama ba yung image na nakikita natin after conducting the examination. And as well as mentioned, evaluating radiographic radiographic quality requires the radiographer to assess the image for both its visibility and visibility of recorded detail. Okay, which is under siya nung ating photographic properties. So pag sinabi natin photographic properties, just the term photo, so ito yung appearance. Gaano ka-visible yung mga detalye na magbibigay ng deep information dun sa condition ni patient. Like yung specific na anatomy, ano yung shape niya, ano yung pagbabago dun sa kanyang morphological structure as seen dun sa kanyang photographic appearance. Yan. So, that is what visibility is about. So, gaano kakita yung mga information na nakarecord dun sa image natin. Okay, and also, this is about sharpness of recorded detail. Yun naman yung tinatawag nating geometric properties. So, pagka sa geometric properties, it's more about the quality of the definition. Yan. So, pag sinabi nating definition, it's how crisp, gaano ka-sharp yung image natin, particularly at the edges. Parang pag nag-take tayo ng picture, kapag yes, makikita mo yung detalye dun sa background, makikita mo yung mga objects na nandoon, but you cannot appreciate them well kasi nga malabo. Okay, so ganun din sa radiographic images. Kailangan yung mga detalye ng information, ng mga anatomy, or pathology is not just present on the image, it must be properly rendered. Kailangan siya rin ay sharp. Yan, para mas ma-pinpoint kung ano ba yung pinanggagalingan ng complaint ni patient. Okay, yan. So again, we have two primary properties, photographic and geometric. So pagka photographic, it's more about the visibility of detail. Samantalang yung geometric naman, sharpness. Gaano ka sharp yung mga details na nakikita natin. So, pag pinag-combine natin both, it will give us the radiographic quality in overall. So, yun yung big picture natin. We want to produce a high-quality images na makakatulong for accurate diagnosis. Okay, so radiographic quality is the combination of both the visibility and sharpness of recorded detail. Okay. So, yan, the two primary factor as mentioned dito sa sa visibility or photographic properties natin, nandiyan si density and also si contrast. So, so for today, mas magfo-focus muna tayo dito sa photographic properties and yung two major factors natin falling under the photographic properties, which is si density and si contrast. Kasi sa majority of the time, sila yung mas na-appreciate natin at sila yung unang-una nating ini-evaluate whenever we have a certain images. Okay, so then on the latter part, as we move forward dun sa mga topic natin, susunod natin itong si geometric properties. Pero for the meantime, dito muna tayo mag-focus sa appearance, dun sa photographic properties. Okay, so photographic properties or the visibility factors of recorded detail are determined by the extent to which the structural components of anatomy. And so sabi dito, extent to which structural components nung anatomy or the anatomic area of interest can be seen on the recorded image. Nakikita ba natin, halimbawa na lang, pag gumawa ka ng chest x-ray, kita ba yung ribs? Kita ba yung heart? Kita ba yung diaphragm or sa abdomen? Kita ba yung stomach, yung outline ng liver? So it's about how good we can see or gaano natin na naaaninag doon sa imaging field natin yung mga present na anatomical regions or mga organs to be specific dun sa ginawa nating image. Yan. So yun ang mas concern ng photographic properties. Kaya tinatawag din siyang visibility. So syempre, of course, it's quite implied na kaya mo ginawa yung examination na yun is para mapakita yung appearance ng anatomy, whether normal pa ba yung appearance niya or na-deform na siya ng certain disease, injury, or condition. And makikita natin siya doon. So kapag may problema dito, pwedeng hindi ma-diagnose ng tama si patient kasi hindi nga makita yung organ na pinapa-examine. So, tayo as the one who is actually doing the procedure, responsibilidad natin yon na ipakita ng maayos yung mga organs na pinapa-rule out so that the condition can be diagnosed properly. Yan. So, visibility of recorded detail is achieved by the proper balance. So, kailangan daw may balance ng density, the radiographic density, and si radiographic contrast. So, ano ba tong dalawa na to? So, anuhin natin sila, elaborate natin sila. Okay, so unahin natin sa radiographic density. So when you said radiographic density, this is the amount of the overall blackness. So tatandaan nyo lang density kapag ka radiographic na density sa atin, pagka kasi density in general sa science, this is how compact, how close to each other yung mga molecules or yung mga particles ng isang object. Dito kay pagka sinabi nating radiographic ang isang density, we are after how black. So gaano ka-dark yung imaging field natin. And so the overall blackness. So yun tatanda density kapag sa radiology, we are pertaining to overall blackness of the image. And after processing. And so sa ibang subject nyo yung processing aspect, sa akin it's more of the technicality of the image appearance. And so pero yung processing, medyo matatouch natin siya, pero yung in detail nun, like yung paggamit ng mga chemicals and other steps will be tackled by other subjects. Sa akin yung effect lang niya dun sa appearance. Okay, so moving forward, a radiograph must have sufficient density to visualize. Ano sabi dito, dapat daw sufficient yung density ng ating image, or else pwedeng kapag hindi tama, pag sinabi nating sufficient, it should be katamtaman lang, moderate, na hindi sobrang itim, na hindi mo na makita pati yung outline ng anatomy. Hindi rin pwedeng sobrang konti, na sa sobrang putla niya nagiging kulay puti na halos lahat, na wala na tayong makita. So ang goal natin is to provide a density na ma-appreciate natin yung organ of interest. Okay, so a radiograph that is too light, and ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, too light has insufficient density to visualize structures of the anatomic parts. Or conversely, kapag ka naman too dark, excessive density and anatomic part cannot be well visualized. On both end of the spectrum, pag kulang or sobra, masisira yung appearance ng anatomy na gusto nating ipakita ng maayos. So dapat sakto-sakto lang. And dito sa subject natin, pag-uusapan natin paano ba gawin yung mga technique in order to produce a sufficient density. So pagka sa ospital, as much as possible, gusto natin magawa to ng isang isang approach lang sa patient or one take only. Kasi merong mga negative repercussion yan kapag hindi mo siya kayang gawin ng as minimal take as possible. So remember, we are dealing with radiation. So kapag di mo alam yung mga principles of imaging, pag-eeksperimentuhan mo ngayon yan yung pasyente mo na uulit-ulitin mo hanggang sa makuha mo yung tamang timpla to produce a diagnostic image as in connection dito sa sinabi natin about density. Kaya principles of imaging is quite crucial na not just for making a good quality image but also for protecting the patient. So palagi yung tatandaan yan. Kaya wag niyong kakalimutan yung mga principles na pag-uusapan natin sa subject na to. Okay, so the ability to determine when a radiograph is unacceptable as a result of either insufficient or excessive density requires knowledge of radiographic factors. And so knowledge of what daw radiographic factors and clinical experience. Okay, so dito sa subject natin, we are more on the radiographic factors, a little bit of the clinical experience. Ito kasi clinical experience, it's more on the higher year level nyo. So pag akyat nyo sa third year, doon yung mas clinical, theoretical na clinical discussion. So sa akin dito more on the radiographic factors. So yun yung mas paglalaroan natin. Okay, so tayo dun sa next. Okay, so if a radiograph daw is deemed unacceptable, the radiographer must determine what factors contributed to the density error. Ito na nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na dito na once na ma-analyze natin yung quality nung nagawa nating image, it is also our responsibility to troubleshoot what went wrong. So kung erroneous yung density level, so kailangan malaman mo rin ano ba yung nagawa kong mali, bakit nag-result, or ano yung unwanted na mga occurrences that resulted to this kind of density. So para makorek mo siya. Hindi kasi pwedeng pabayaan mo na lang kasi pag pinabayaan mo yon, again, sinong mapapahamak yung pasyente natin. So we need to troubleshoot. At paano mo lang malalaman yan is dapat naiintindihan mo yung mga principles. Kaya nga tinawag tong subject natin na principles of imaging. So knowledge about the factors that affect the density on radiograph is critical to developing effective problem-solving skills. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo dito sa subject natin, dapat magaling kayong umintindi ng mga relationships. Pag may tumaas, ano yung mga gagalaw, pag may ginalaw ka, anong mangyayari sa ibang mga factors. It's like analyzing a case. Yan. So bawat pasyente, bawat image na ginagawa nyo is like a case, para siyang puzzle na kailangan yung isolve. Yan. So factors that directly affect the density are identified as controlling factors. So emphasize muna natin tong term na controlling factor. So pag sinabi nating controlling factor, these are factors that pinakamabigat ang weight niya. It is considered the primary factor that will determine the level or a particular quality. And so in this case, we are talking about density. So kung controlling factor ni density, yun yung kauna-unahan. Among all the factors that might influence the density, it's the controlling factor that will primarily determine the level of density. So secondary na lang yung mga tinatawag nating influencing factors. So ang primary natin or ang may first degree of effect sa density ng image natin is yung mga controlling factors. So sa case ng density, ang controlling factor natin is simply the MAS. Yan, sa MAS. Combination siya ng dalawa. Yung milliamperage natin or yung milliampere saka yung exposure time. So combining both the factor, yung interaction nila is the one that give us the MAS. So isa lang talaga yan. It's the overall MAS, the milliampere second, na interaction siya ng kapag sa technique kasi yung mga minamanipulate nating function dun sa ating console sa X-ray machine, it's the MA and the exposure time. But ang output nun sa tube ng X-ray machine, it's a combination MAS. So kung gaano kataas yung MAS, siya ang magdi-determine kung gaano yung magiging pag-itim or yung darkness nung radiograph na napoproduce natin. Again, but MAS, pwede pa nating i-broken down into milliampere and exposure time. Okay, so sa further discussion natin, i-detail ko to ano ba si milliamperage, what is exposure time. Though you already have some initial thought from the terms pa lang and probably on other subjects, medyo napapahapyawan nyo na or they are being mentioned. Kaya you are quite familiar with. Pero dito sa subject kasi natin na to, medyo i-detail ko sila sa mga susunod na discussion and how they can do that particular effect. And so this siya ang may primary degree of effect. Ito namang may mga secondary effect. Okay, yung mga may secondary effect, sila yung tinatawag nating influencing factor. Okay, so itong mga influencing factor natin, uh, nakaka-affect sila pero kailangan pa rin nilang mag-conform doon sa magagawa ng MAS. Okay, so they are more on the side. The main character in the story of density is MAS. Then yung mga side character na merong magiging role na gagampanan para ma-manifest ni MAS yung kanyang target effect is mga influencing factor. Kumbaga ba sa story, sila yung mga side characters. And so, decay kilo voltage, distance, speeds, film screen speed, collimation, anatomic part, anode Hill effect, reciprocity law, generator output, filtration, film processing. So itong mga to, iisa-isahin ko sa inyo to sa mga susunod nating discussion kasi mahaba yung mga ibig sabihin yan and yung mga particular effect nila. Pero for the meantime, ang goal muna natin is intindihin kung ano ba ang mga uh, factors or yung mga radiographic factors. And ang importante muna ngayon, alam nyo na ito yung mga list ng influencing factors. Then sa mga susunod na discussion, pag-usapan natin paano ba gumagana tong mga other factors na to. Okay. So next natin, another primary photographic property is the contrast, or more correctly referred as the radiographic contrast under the parlance of radiology. Pag sinabi kasi natin contrast, anything na merong pagkakaiba. Pero pagka sa atin kasi pagkakaiba ng appearance or nung adjacent na degree of blackness, yun sa radiographic contrast. Okay, so mentioning here formally, sabi dito, radiographic contrast is a photographic factor that also affects the visibility of recorded detail. So ano ba to? Ano ba kasi itong si radiographic contrast? Bakit naapektuhan niya daw si recorded detail? Contrast is degree of difference between adjacent densities. So ulitin natin na degree of difference. Ano daw yung different? Yung magkatabi, yung adjacent na densities. For example, etong particular na area or region na to sa image natin, masyadong maitim. Ang katabi niya is medyo lighter, so let's say maputi. So yung pagkakaiba nung degree nung blackness na eto mas maitim, eto mas light or mas maputi, yun yung tinatawag nating density. And yung interaction ng mga differences in density na to is give us the overall radiographic contrast. And the contrast sa whole is the one that give us the ability to appreciate yung presence ng mga structure dun sa image. Siyempre kung walang pagkakaiba-iba yung mga present na density dun sa image natin, pantay-pantay lang sila. Wala kang makikitang outline ng picture or in this case yung anatomy. So hindi mo yun ma-appreciate na organ or anatomy or whatsoever na article of detail doon sa ginawa nating image kung wala silang variation. Like halimbawa maputi yung organ tapos maputi rin yung background. So anong makikita mo? So yun yung ibig sabihin ng contrast. Kailangan may variation. Dapat merong contrasting feature para ma-appreciate natin. Parang parang sa many paradox in life. Bawa sa you cannot appreciate a thing, let's say for instance yung konti, hindi mo ma-appreciate hindi mo alam yung madami, yung happiness, you cannot appreciate happiness if you don't know what is sadness. Yan. So parang ganun. So para maintindihan mo yung isa, kailangan merong kakaiba or merong variation. That's what radiographic density. Parang ganun siya sa ano natin sa common context. Okay, the ability to distinguish between densities enables differences in anatomic tissues to be visualized. Yan, sabi nga dito, ayan, ito yung more on directly about sa mga ginagawa nating radiograph. Distinguish between densities, yung pagkakaiba-iba nung degree of blackness ng anatomy sa background niya or surrounding structures, which enables us to visualize them. So ang pinaka-target effect ng contrast is makita natin sila dun sa image dahil magkaka-iba-iba nga sila ng appearance when it comes to degree of blackness. So when the absorption characteristic of an object differ, the image presents with varying densities. So ano bang pinag-uugatan ng contrast? It's the differences in absorption or attenuation. So magkaiba sila ng attenuating level nung mga nung iba't ibang mga magkakatabing organ or structures. Yung isa, dahil mas malakas mag-absorb ng radiation, ito yung magiging appearance niya. Ito namang hindi masyadong malakas mag-absorb, mas tumatago sa kanyang radiation, ito yung appearance niya. So, i-discuss natin in detail yon kapag nag-dig deeper pa tayo sa domain ng contrast. But that the physical reason why we have variation, yung pagkakaiba-iba ng degree of attenuation ng mga organs or structure present on the body region that we are exposing to the beam, to the primary beam. So in tissues, where the absorption characteristic differ, recorded detail is best visualized. So when contrast is optimized for that area of interest. So, yan nga, kapag daw mas magkakalayo yung property ng mga organs na present sa particular na region, halimbawa sa chest, iba yung attenuation ng bones like the ribs, the sternum, iba rin yung attenuation ng lung field dun compared dun sa mga mediastinal structures katulad ng heart silhouette. So kaya yung yung chest, na-appreciate natin yung mga organs na nandoon dahil sa pagkakaiba-iba ng kanilang mga property as they interact with radiation, particularly X-ray. And yun yung ino-optimize natin na property when we are talking about contrast. Okay, so speaking of radiographic contrast, this is the combined result of two categories. The film, the image receptor contrast, and the subject contrast. So pag pinag-usapan natin si contrast sa mga susunod pang discussion, may dalawa siyang type. Isang galing sa property ng ating recording medium, which is commonly sa analog is the film, the image receptor, and the subject contrast. So si subject contrast, ito naman yung property ng mga organs or ng mga structure. And so sa radiographic contrast na discussion, pag-uusapan ulit natin sila. Again, meron tayong dalawa ha. So we have the image receptor contrast and the subject contrast. So yung combination ng effect nilang dalawa will give us the overall radiographic contrast. So film or image receptor contrast, result of inherent properties, itong ikakabanggit ko lang, manufactured into the type of film and how it is radiographed, whether direct exposure or with intensifying screen. So yung intricacies niyan, pag-uusapan natin sa mga susunod na discussion. So along with the processing condition. So subject contrast naman, result of absorption, characteristic of the anatomy. And so radiograph and the level of kilovoltage use. So yan. So yun lang naman yung binanggit ko kanina, yun lang naman din yung ibig sabihin nun. And pagdating natin sa contrast na discussion, yung mismong chapter or unit ng contrast, mas i-elaborate natin itong mga sinasabi dito. So punta tayo dito sa image para mas ma-appreciate nyo si contrast. So sabi si contrast, pagkakaiba ng adjacent densities. Like for instance, this one. Nakita nyo, this is etong area na to. Etong area na to, this is blacker. Ito naman medyo lesser yung black niya. Ito medyo gray na. So mga gray, mas lesser yung gray compared dito sa mga regions na to na mas white. Yan. So nakikita niyo na magkakaiba sila ng level of blackness That's why we can outline them kung ano yung ino-occupy nilang region dun sa spectrum. So we can appreciate them kasi magkakaiba sila. Pero kung lahat yan pantay-pantay ng appearance, you cannot appreciate the presence of this object yan kung magkakamukha silang lahat. Okay, so and as we have the discussion of contrast, meron tayong mga characterization ng contrast, whether high, low, long scale, yun. So yan yung magiging basis natin doon as we have that discussion. Okay. So next, in the aspect of contrast, yung contrast natin, ito yung mga two types niya. We have subject and the film. Okay, pagka subject dun sa yung ina-examine natin na body part or yung katawan ni patient. So ito yung mga common affecting factor. So we have the kilovoltage, the tissue composition, and the contrast medium. For the image contrast, common factor influencing it are the film type, direct exposure intensifying skin processing condition. So mapapansin nyo sa subject, it's more on na related sa anatomy, while etong sa film is yung condition or properties nung ating image receptor kung saan natin nire-record yung image. And so i-elaborate pa natin yung mga principles na yan as we move forward with the discussion of contrast. Okay, so once again, as mentioned here, controlling factor. So kilovoltage is considered as the controlling factor for radiographic contrast, so yung prior na diagram kanina or table rather. So yung kilovoltage ang may pinakamalakas na influence. Kung sa density we have the MAS, ang main character dito, ang main character naman na magiging basis ng kung paano ma-develop yung contrast ng image is the KDP. Yan. So yung KDP natin. The quality or penetrating power of X-ray beam has the most direct effect on controlling the desired level of contrast. So as you can see, as na-mention na dito, ano ba kasi yung ginagawa ni KDP, bakit siya ang basis ng contrast? Siya ang magdidetermine ng penetration. And as you know, the degree of attenuation level will affect the density that can be produced on a particular region. So kapag yung area na to mas tumatagos yung radiation, ito yung magiging density niya. Ito namang area na to na wala masyadong radiation na tumatagos, ito yung magiging density niya. And yung variation ng density na yun due to variation in the penetration will be the contrast. At sinong gumawa nun? Yung kilovoltage. Yan. Iaano ko pa yan sa inyo. Ihimayin ko pa yan sa inyo as we go or dig deeper sa discussion natin. So altering the penetrating power of the X-ray beam affect its absorption and transmission through the anatomic tissue being radiographed. So kaya nga siya nagiging control kasi pagka yung controller kasi pag minamanipulate natin, yan nakokontrol nababago rin kasi natin sa natin sa operating console dun sa machine kung ano yung KBP na gusto nating gamitin depending upon dun sa examination na pina-perform. Kaya tayo mismo ang magko-control nito. So kapag ganitong KBP ang ginamit mo, mababago mo yung contrast na magagawa natin. Okay, so ayan, high kilovoltage increases the penetrating power of the X-ray beam and result in less absorption. And so you all binibigyan na kayo ng general detail kung paano pinapakialaman ng KDP yung contrast ng image. Sabi pag mas mataas, mas malakas ang penetration. So mas malakas ang penetration, less ang absorption. Therefore, more transmission, fewer ang density in the anatomic tissue. So pag mas natin kapag pagka mas sinaas natin yung kilovoltage, ang contrast ay nababawasan. Nababawasan siya kasi halos lahat nagiging pantay-pantay silang ng density kasi tagos lang ng tagos. So wag niyo muna masyadong problemahin yun kasi i-discuss ko sa inyo paano ba mas ma-appreciate yung paggalaw ng contrast dahil sa pagbabago or pag-manipulate natin ng KBP sa X-ray machine. Okay, so ito naman yung summary nung binabanggit natin na mga factors. So, controlling factor, the main character sa story ng contrast, it's the kilovoltage. Sa density, MAS. Okay, kung si density, meron siyang mga side character. Similarly, si KVP meron din. So meron ding mga nakaka-affect sa kanya na influencing factors but secondary lang sila sa ano natin sa primary concern. So we have the grids, the collimation, the object to image receptor distance, the anatomic part, the contrast media, and the processing method. So yan, as we have the discussion proper, ihimay-himayin din natin yan. I-discuss natin sila isa-isa. Ano ba yung mga property, ano ba yung mga yan, ano pa yung mga sub effects nila doon sa ating radiographic quality. Okay, so ito yung summary ng common interaction na yan na sa ano na to sa subject na to palagi nyo to may encounter kung kaya sabi ko sa inyo this is about relationship conceptual kasi ang principles of imaging dito ang ating approach is kung pag may nagbago anong mangyayari doon sa iba so pag may problema ano yung pinanggalingan at pag ginawa mo yun, nag-adjust ka to compensate for that, meron ding magagalawan. And kailangan naiintindihan natin sila so that alam natin kung alin yung mga kakalabitin, alin yung mga imamanipulate, para mapuntahan natin yung end goal natin. Yung para sumakses ka dun sa quality na gusto mong ma-provide and to help the diagnosis anong gusto nating kind of diagnosis, a correct diagnosis. At ano ang panggagalingan nun kung high quality or a good quality radiograph yung mapuproduce natin. And dito magbe-base yan na naiintindihan dapat natin yung paggalaw ng mga principles of imaging. Yan. So, ito yung pinaka-overview niya pero may detailed pa yan. So, i-discuss natin yan in detail sa buong semester na to. Okay, so and analog ang mas concern natin kasi yung digital may sariling subject. Yung digital medyo ano na yun, medyo may mga konting kakaibang medyo complex and mas may mga kakaiba siyang iba yung mga sinasabi niya compared sa analog. May mga portion na magkaiba sila ng principles. So para hindi kayo masyadong mabombard. So dito sa subject natin, doon muna tayo sa ninuno ng mga procedure sa analog. Yan, more on the X-ray film. Yan, gumagamit ng X-ray film. So, sa subject nyo na ng digital and computerized radiography, problemahin yung kakaibang mga i-claim ng principles of imaging ng mga digital machine. Dito muna yung gumagamit ng film kasi siya naman ang foundation ng knowledge. Para maintindihan nyo yung digital, dapat maintindihan nyo muna tong si analog. Yan, yung sinaunang approach natin when it comes to principles of imaging. Okay, so hanggang dito muna tayo sa ating discussion. So by next meeting, we are going to somehow elaborate itong mga pinag-usapan natin, yung mga factors, yung mga radiographic quality. So thank you for listening. So see you on our next discussion. Okay, class, do you have any particular question or clarification in your mind that you want to raise before we adjourn our meeting? So anyone from the group na merong naguguluhan or wants to clarify thing regarding the lecture? Okay, so uh, I think with your silence, none so far. Okay, so if there's a none, we are going to call it a day, and just stay tuned na lang on my uh, future announcement on our GC and on the Orange app. So, yung ating remaining time, I'll be giving it to you kung di pa kayo tapos doon sa ating activity or rather your submissions sa Orange app and also to do further reading. So, yung mga pinag-usapan natin ngayon, explore it more. So, do an in-depth learning and sa pag-conduct ng some researches. You want to read it also on your book, I'll be giving you the time and para possibly by next week, ito I'm already announcing para makapag-ready kayo, there might be a quiz. Yan. So possible by next meeting may quiz na tayo about dito sa ating topic. So medyo ano pa naman siya, bite size. So kaya pang i-hold. So hindi naman siya ganun ka super super complex pa. So kaya I want you to do to do an in-depth learning and also possibly advanced reading. Yan. So para kapag dating ng mga assignments or whatsoever na activity, meron na kayong well-established knowledge. So yung mga pinag-usapan natin ngayon, do research it more. Basahin niyo sa libro para mas maging malalim yung pag-unawa niyo. And I encourage you read the book kasi yung iba yung explanation sa book, mas marami pa kayong magigets, and that is the key para after you in your succeeding years, you're going to take many exams yan prior to graduation, and also after you graduate, before you become a licensed professional, yung board exam. So ang board exam, it's more kumukuha siya sa mga reference books to make it a valid. So kaya I encourage you to read a book yan. So na-mention ko naman sa inyo si Busyong. So si Busyong yung mas libro natin dito na gagamitin kasi mas madaling i-handle yung chapters niya compared dun sa ibang mga book na isang buong principles of imaging. So you can also read those books ng mga principles of imaging, pero if you want na hindi super dami yung basahin or readings, Busyong is a starting point. Yan. Tapos pag natapos na kayo kay Busyong, you can read other books na talagang isang buong libro tungkol sa principles of imaging. Yun nga lang, meron kasi sila mga computerized aspect, which is may subject kasi kayong ng computerized and digital radiography. Medyo may mga kakaiba kasing doon, kakaibang mga principles of imaging na baka mas maguluhan kayo, mahilo kayo kapag isiningit natin ng sabay yung standard ng analog and the digital. So medyo medyo komplikado yung discussion ng digital na usually nahahawakan ko rin yun before, like yung mga yung histogram analysis. Dito wala kayo masyadong maririnig ng mga histogram analysis, pero sa digital medyo masalimuot yung kwento nun. So kaya wag niyo munang problemahin si digital. Let's go to muna, the basic, yung baby steps muna tayo. Okay, so yun, I'll be giving you the time na para kung ano mang gusto nyo pang gawin for in-depth learning. Yan, okay. So may pala, 12 edition. Any edition is a good. Yeah, but updated one kasi meron sila mga dinadagdag na which is a current trend. So better siya. So yun, we are going to call it a day na yung natitirang oras. Gawin yung mga kailangang i-submit, and yung presentation na I'll be siguro possibly the handout, or yung mababalikan niyo to yung ating yung lesson natin ngayon, mababalikan niyo dito. Kung di ako nagkakamali, dito sa class in pwede niyo siyang balik-balikan, and I'll be trying to kung kakayanin ng sa Orange app, so I'll try din doon. So but for the meantime, habang I'll try to do rin a handout. So kung kakayanin ng time. So pero habang hindi ko pa nagagawa yung handout, you can replay paulit-ulit dito sa class in. Alam ko na dito sa class in meron siya. Yan, kaya pwede niyo siyang i-rewind ulit din. Okay, so yun, okay na everyone, and have a restful night. So gawin na yung mga kailangang i-submit. Okay, so see you on our next meeting, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Yes, Mr. Virgie, si Miss pala to, Miss Bringino. Yes, same na lang din last time. Pakilagay lang doon kung may nag-absent ba. And sige, welcome. Thank you din.